Henry. And if you're new to the Lions Den, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are not new, then you already know what's going on here. And what's oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So many things happened at one time just now. If you know what's going on here is that we're getting bitter, bigger and bigger, better and better, and they're getting bitter and bitter and bitter. Listen, Lions. Listen, Lions, to my people. If you're new to the Lions Den, if you're not new to the Lions Den, like I said, I love you, and we're gonna really talk about some things for real, for real, for real. Lions, listen. Listen, 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 Lions, listen. So in life, sometimes we as people, we just I don't know if the word is assume or assume the position. Y'all let me know in the comments. I'm gonna say that again throughout the live. Give me one. So like I'm gonna be real. I'm just realizing. I'm realizing all the things that people put onto my life when I was a little boy. Okay. And here I am stepping into fame, stepping into notoriety, stepping into all these different big things for myself. And it's like I'm healing the past version of myself. And I just sit back and I just realize, the perception, like ever since I was a little boy, I'm not gonna lie, like this is gonna get a little deep. This is gonna be a good little live. Ever since I was a little boy, I always felt the need that I needed to like be who everybody else wanted me to be around me, you know? And like now that it's later in life, I'm about to be 25 this year. I think the reason why that was done, or the reason why that happened, or why it was played out that way, because we all have different archetypes of how our life go, is that it was meant for me to really see, hey, my personality is it. And not only am I it, I am the blueprint. You get what I'm saying? Of a healed, multi-dimensional type person. And I feel like, people's perception of me because of that, because I was so quiet, meek, chill, humble, patient, kind, understanding. I think because I was that, the people who didn't know me felt like they knew my life. This is all before, this is like my early life, before all the fame that I'm getting into right now. People that I feel like they thought they knew me based off of their perceptions. And it's like, I'm really just now realizing the perception people had of me was not only was it wrong, but it was like, wow, they really thought I wasn't gonna be shit. And it's like, I never gave off bum. You know what I mean? I never gave off bummy. I gave off weird, eccentric, different, not wanting to fit in with everybody else around me. So what made people feel like I wasn't gonna be shit? I never was a bum. I was just always eccentric and different. So like, I think some people, it was like a vast amount of opinions and perceptions people had of me. Like some people thought, some people thought I wasn't gonna be shit. Some people might have thought I would get strung out on drugs. Some people might have thought, I would just live a basic, boring life. But it's like all those people, y'all, I've surpassed them. I've surpassed them, and I'm gonna keep surpassing them. That's why I come in here and I tell y'all, fuck everybody who has an opinion about everything that's not you. You know what I mean? Because ever since I was a little boy, y'all, I don't know if it was the dark forces in life or just something I had to learn through because of how great my future is going to be. People have tried to stop me since I was a little boy. People have not wanted me to succeed since I was little, like parents, friends. It's just been a lot of different weird stuff. And it's like, I'm just realizing the perception of how people perceive me. And it's like, wow. It's like, because I'm seeing myself in the mirror. And it's not a physical thing. It's like, I'm looking at my eyes, my spirit. I know myself. And it's like, the version that those people, not y'all, those people who they thought, I'm not even sure if that person ever existed. I'm not even sure if he ever existed, And it's like, I've been going through life, not innocent, but like, I've been going through life, meek, sweet, humble, you know what I mean? Like focused on me. I didn't even know that people could be so consumed and wrapped up in other people's life. I didn't even know that people are so evil for real, because me, I'm so like, I don't know. I'm not like that. Like, I'm not like that. Like, I don't hate on people. I'm not weird. I don't do any of those weird type of things. So, and I'm not caught up in other people's life because I'm focusing on my life. You know what I mean? So it's like, I didn't think that people could be like that. I didn't think that people could be like that. And most importantly, not the people who were supposed to be, who were closest, quote unquote, closest to me. So it's like, I think sometime in life, because people, let's say for instance, if you're nerdy, let's say for instance, if you're nerdy, you like anime, it's different levels to this for real. It's different levels to this. I think people assume that who you are is who you're gonna stay, essentially. I think people think because of how they see you. Now, mind you, how people see you is not who you really are. Okay. I think people think because of how they see you when they see you that you're not gonna elevate. So it's like people think, oh, because he was a nerd, he's gonna always be a nerd. And I never was really nerdy, no, or anything like that. But I was just different. But people think because she was always fat, she's gonna always be fat. You know what I mean? Or people think because he's always been angry, he's gonna always be angry. And it's like, no. That's what I'm saying. People in life, they think that they just can give you a position or give you a title and role in their life, and you're gonna assume the position. And it's like, no, I never was that. I never was this. I think people in life, they try to make versions of you. They don't try to look at you for you. I think they try to make a version of you that they want for you. And that's been something predominant in my life. And I'm just speaking up on it. Like, I don't have to assume the position that anybody gives over you, especially when you know that your life has a greater good. And when you know that your life has a greater good, sometime when you're in people's life, they're gonna think, well, damn, what did I mean to your story? Or did I ever mean anything to your story? And it's like, I don't even know what to say. It's like, I think people just give themselves too much props, too much weight in other people's life. You know what I mean? Like, people give themselves too much props and too much weight, and they think, and sometime in life, people want you to assume a position just so they can feel comfortable. But once you start to you get a little bit better than that, or let's say if you were nerdy and you start, get a more bulky build or whatever it may be, or if you were fat, now you're skinny, people are going to think, people are going to get shake, they're going to get shook up. I'm just in life, I feel like one of my roles is to teach people for real, even though I'm making music and stuff. So I want to, like, give it to y'all how y'all can understand it. You may not be going through what I'm going through. You may have been skinny and now you're big or fat, or, whatever the situation may be. But people want you to stay in those positions that they saw you in just so they can be lazy in their own life and they ain't got to put in the work and elevate. I make people want to step up their game. I make people want to step up their game when it comes to, just for one, my voice alone, how I speak. And this is me being myself, for real, for real. This is me being myself. And when people get around me, the way they feel, and I'm like a good luck charm, for real, for real, for real. The way people feel around me, the way blessings come into people's life, the things I tell them and the stuff like that, it's like, yeah. And I think the fact of the matter that I was so suppressed as a child, y'all got to understand, everybody's life has an archetype. Meaning some parts are going to be low, some parts are going to be high, and kind of like prediction based. Like, if you were here, by the time you're older, you won't be there, or type of ordeal, and I just think I've realized that I assumed the position that people gave me. I assumed that position that people gave me. And one thing that brought me out of assuming that position, no, the only thing that brought me out of assuming that position is my art. I'm starting to realize that if I had not started doing this, started this when I started it, I don't know where I would be right now. I think I would have succumbed to everybody around me, and y'all, everybody around me ain't shit. They ain't doing nothing. They weren't doing anything with their life. So that means I would have succumbed to some bullshit. I would have succumbed to a lackluster environment full of people who didn't want me to be myself. Also, they could feel comfortable. I'm glad I kept going. I'm glad I started this, me doing what I do. That's what gave me real confidence, it's just a lot of different things. I'm just realizing I'm not that person that people wanted me out to be. I remember as a kid, people would always tell me, you need to, calm down. You're going to have a heart attack by the time you're 45, and just different little stuff like that. It's like those people were speaking over my life. Those same people thought that they knew how my life was going to go. And it's like, no. So to break it down for you, whether you have a friend in your life, you're like, this is what I want to do. And your friend is like, nah, I don't think you can do that. Get all those people. They be trying to speak stuff over your life. Okay. I'm not trying to get too mystical, deep, and pharaoh and everything, but I'm keeping it real with you. Words are very important. Words are very, very, very important. And I think that a lot of people, they try to stop me. They try to speak things over my life. And it's like, bitch, I'm getting bigger. I'm getting, who are they stopping? Who are they trying to stop? And it's and I realize they tried to stop me because I have a light inside of me that people need to see. People need to see me, Mason Jyree, do what I'm doing because it's something that is going to unlock within them. You know what I mean? Whether it's whatever it is, it's creative things that I do, whatever it is, you know? And I think that's just very, very important. I am the gym. I am the culture, the knowledge, everything that I have, it's me. It's real. It's homegrown and self-made. I have self-autonomy. Like how I am, y'all, nobody taught me. I didn't have a mother that was guiding me, loving on me throughout all my life. My mother was there, but she was evil. My stepdaddy, who was a great man, by the way, looking back on my stepdaddy was great, but I didn't have a parent figure there to guide me. Like I've taught myself everything in life, from cooking to like personal stuff to car taxes, like to everything in life. Okay, don't let my notoriety and my influence make y'all think that I'm not still a person. Everybody that has influence is still a person, and we still have to learn certain things and do certain things for ourselves, and that's just part of life. So this whole, if y'all are expecting me to get up here and perform Hollywood and not live in Hollywood, don't play, because I'm gonna live. I don't perform. Only time I perform is when I get on stage, is when I'm on set. So it's like, yeah, I think for me to go through the things that I went through in life, and for me not to become a hateful, mean, lackluster, lack of dreams type of person is wonderful. Because so many people in life, in everyday people, they, going through what I went through, a lot of them would have given up on the smallest modicum of their dreams. And it's like, no, keep going. I'm like, I know it's corny. I know it's shit that you probably done heard on a movie before, but that is the truth. Y'all, that corny shit that people be saying, that is the truth for real. And it took nights of me being frustrated in my bed, like, what the fuck is going on in my life, for me to realize that corny shit is true. Hold on. Keep going. Keep going. The world does not have to see your steps in order for you to know that you're doing big things. Like, it's something, even when people weren't looking at me, weren't watching me, I kept going. I don't do it. Like, it has to be something that you want on the inside. It has to be something that you want on the inside. Back to the assuming the position, I just feel like I was always going to be outside of the box. I was some people, Lord bless them, some people be outside of the box just so they can be different, and just because they want to be so. It's like I am outside of the box because that's just how it's working for me. Like, that's just me. Like, and I think I'm like this because the wavelength I'm going is the culture. It's the wave. It just is what it is. So it's like, I'm not purposefully, being different. I'm just being me. And I'm realizing that me being me, which is different. And like something I realized, y'all, people try to make it seem like being different or being eccentric is bad. Head scratch. How is that bad? Like how is, and I'm talking not about for me, but for everyday people. How is that bad for everyday people to be different and eccentric? I think normal people it's not even a such thing as being normal. I'm being for real with y'all. That's something else I realized. People aren't normal. They just mask themselves with like seriousness or just certain stuff. Everybody in the world, we all are quirky, different, but some people just mask it better than others. And some people just aren't living in their authentic truth. I'm living in my I can't even get it out. Authentic truth. So it's like, yes, like, yeah, I never was gonna assume the position, especially when it comes down to some, you may have a family member when you start making money, you start doing good in life, and they feel like, oh, I was used to you being broke. I was used to you, and it's like a lot of times people will have an opinion. People will have an opinion about your life, and it's based off what they think or what they think they're seeing. So it's like you may have thought that person was broke. Whole time they were never broke. They were just getting their life together. That's why it's important and imperative that people in life mind their business. Okay, so yeah. I think people wanted me to feel comfortable or wanted me to stop, wanted me to give up. They felt like I was moving too quick. These are things that they told me, by the way, like, just so they could feel comfortable in their life. I have a lot of, older, and it's like, I tell y'all this, the people, I feel the need to talk about the people who hate on me, because it's like, yeah, I went through years of people hating on me, playing in my face for no reason, all because I was different. Like, I'm gonna speak on it. because I know for a fact it's other people in life who people are perceiving as weak. And I never gave off weak. I don't know what made them think that, but who people are perceiving as different, weak, eccentric, and they feel like because they're different, they can play with them. And I'm here to let you know, the superstar mogul that I am, you're not gonna play with them. You're not gonna play with them. I'm not for all that. So it's like, yeah, never assume the position that people give you in life. Half of the people that want you to assume this role, they don't even know what the hell is going on, and they're intimidated by you doing what you're doing. And that's something I had to realize. I had to realize it's not my fault. It's not my fault. And listen, the things that I say, I'm not on here just trying to preach to the people. I'm not a preacher, baby. I'm coming on here talking about my life, making my art and relaying it to the people and hoping, not even hoping, knowing that the people are going to see whatever they need to see within it. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not coming on here preaching. I'm coming on here talking about my life, relaying it to the people, and expressing my craft. That is what it is. So, I just think that's just very, very important. So when I say things like people wanted to stop me, I'm always going to tie it back to myself, because that's the reason for me being on the live. So yeah, I did go through a lot of that, but all in all, it's like I'm winning and I'm going to win. And everybody that has tried to surpass me, even people in the business, y'all, that I've met, and they've had a little bit more notoriety than me at that time. Maybe they didn't want to help me out. Maybe because they knew I was going to surpass them, so some people, they don't want to help you when they feel like you can pass them for real. I'm not one of those people, but people are like that. And I've surpassed all of them. I've surpassed all of them. That's why I'm telling you, the tortoise, I used to say this all the time on live, the tortoise won the race, not the hare. It's one of those corny cliche things, but it's true, so it's like, what I don't want to happen is that people always, oftentimes, not people, because people don't do this to me. I know my Lions people, the people who rock on me, they don't. When I say people, I'm never talking to y'all. Thank you so much, K1M1. I'm never talking to y'all. I'm talking about to the people outside of the Lions Den. If you're on the live, you're rocking with me, we rocking. When we talking shit, we talking about the other people, the ones who not rocking with us. You feel my drift? So it's like, people wanted me to, just assume a position that I never was even in. And I think, honestly, if I'm being real with y'all, I think how I viewed myself is the reason why people, treated me like that. Because I think what I'm learning now is that how you view yourself is important. It's important because what you give off is going to be how you view yourself. So it's like, I make sure that I keep myself in line. I make sure that I keep myself, in check for real, and just stuff like that. And I'm never going to sit up here and play. I used to play house when you're little. You play house. I'm never going to sit up here and play house for the sake of somebody else feeling comfortable, especially if there's no need. Excuse me, because I don't mind accommodating people and making people feel comfortable at all. However, when it's on some jealousy or anything like that, or you don't want me to chase my dreams and stuff, fuck you. No, fuck you. So that's just pretty much that. I think that's very much important. I think a lot of times in my everyday life, which is like, I don't know why some people thought this, because like, who was stupid? Like, I think sometimes people thought because I didn't talk, and it's not that I didn't talk, it's that I didn't talk around people that I wasn't comfortable around. Or if I didn't know you, I'm not talking to you. So it's like, I think people thought because I didn't talk, or because of my aloof, outlandish quote unquote dreams, some people thought they could play in my face, or like, not, and like the people that played with me, I never had nobody step up to me one-on-one. People have always tried to get me on on a behind the scenes, nice, nasty, passive aggressive type of tip. People have always, talk a little shit when I walk out the room, type of stuff like that, But I feel like people thought I was dumb or thought I was stupid. These are people outside of the Lions Den, not y'all. I felt like they felt like I was stupid, you know what I mean? Or because I didn't talk, or because I didn't choose to go to college and become a teacher, or become this and another thing. You don't got to go to college to be successful. Remember that. I hate when people try to do all that extra stuff. Because y'all gonna see. Just wait. I didn't have to go to college to become a billionaire. So yeah, that's not the point, neither here or there. But I think because I chose an unconventional route, because I was always eccentric, different. I never really had a lot of friends and stuff like that. People always thought it was something with me, and it's like, it was never anything with me. It was just the fact that my life has been protected and aligned, and it's like, I'm one of those people. If I'm meant to be in your life, I'll be in your life, and if I'm not, I'm not. I'm not who I just go through life. Well, spirit lets me go through life frivolously, and I'm meeting this person, meeting that person. Everybody that I meet is for a reason, it's for a time, and it's for a season. Okay. even though I'm chasing superstardom, this is, like a, not to get too deep, because some people make their spirituality their identity, and it's like it ain't that deep. It's just a part of me. You feel what I'm saying? But I know this is a journey. I know this is a journey, and the people that I've met them for a reason. And it's a lot of people that I have met in the past, whether they be friends, relationships, who thought I wasn't gonna be shit, and the amount of sorrow they're gonna feel in their chest, because y'all, I'm going big, when I'm going big forever. So the way they're gonna feel is that I know they're gonna be sick to their stomach. They're gonna be sick to their stomach at the fact that they ever, and the reason why I feel like I know some people are going to be sick is because of how they viewed me. Like, they viewed me as somebody not worthy. They viewed me as somebody who did not deserve success, who was like below society, all because I wasn't chasing some small ass country standards. Like, what? You know what I mean? Those people are going to have to sit back and watch me eat in my mansions with my future children. Those people are going to be the people that have to sit back and watch me collect all the Grammys, the EGOTs, Tonys, Oscars, VMAs, all those different awards that I'm going to collect, the money, all that, and the peace. Most importantly, the peace. They're going to have to sit back and watch me, and I think that's just that important. I don't get on here. Some people talk about haters. Ain't nobody hating on you, boo. The people ain't, they not hating on you, boo. Listen, for me personally, the people were hating on me. And I feel the need to speak up on it. And they were hating on me because it's like, I want to play him, but I can't play him. You know what I mean? I want to play him. I want to say he ain't shit, but something about me just won't let me say that he ain't shit. So yeah, I think that's just that. That's that. As I move up and as I continue to grow, I definitely won't be giving it. I won't even be seeing them people. They won't even be in my reach. You know what I mean? I'm only focused on people that love me. You know what I mean? But that is just that. And I ultimately say certain things to inspire, my supporters, my fans, my lions, and everything like that. But hopefully, as I grow, we grow, and we don't give a damn about what these haters talking about, y'all. We don't give a damn about what these haters talking about, y'all. It's like I saw this video on Instagram a couple days ago, and it was like a lion, and it was like a pack of hyenas trying to like attack the lion. And y'all know me, big Leo here. And I was just thinking like, wow, I think there was a spirit, I think there was something like life was trying to show me, like, I've been under so much attack from people. Like, the last year of my life, y'all, has been so freaking hard, but the way I've came out on top is incredible. Like, it's incredible. Like, it needs to be studied. Like, it's incredible. And it's just like, yeah, like I had a wild pack of hyenas thinking they could beat the king of the jungle. You know what I mean? Thinking they could outdo the king of the jungle. You're asking me who do I want to be? Well, first off, I'm grown, baby. I'm grown. I am who I want to be, singer, songwriter, actor, author, producer, entertainer, Mason Jerry. So I'm definitely chasing my dreams. I'm definitely doing what I wanted to do when I was a kid. So shout out to you, KM. Thank you for running up the chat. I really appreciate you, KM, K1 M1. So yeah. And I think most importantly, like, in the last chapter of my life, I'm learning to just embrace myself, embrace my fluidity, how I talk, all this different type of stuff like that. Like, I'm just being myself, I'm coming at peace with like me. Not only am I the it, but I'm the blueprint. So it's like, it's important for me to be my authentic self. If for some reason it inspires people, and I don't know why, I don't know why, but it just does. And part of me is like, does it inspire people because they thought I wasn't gonna be shit, or does it inspire them because they see me for me? So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean. I think I think like I said, life is a journey. And my journey is definitely picking up, and it's like I'm coming out of that position that people tried to put me in, the position that's beneath them, the fat black kid in the back of the class that could sing, the fat, just everything that I was, everything that I used to be. I'm coming out of that, and I want y'all to understand. And like I was trying to tell y'all earlier on the live earlier, I'm glad that I'm like getting my mental health in order, getting my my physical health in order. I'm glad I'm doing all of those different type of things, because artists who don't get their personal life together and they meet fame, they get destroyed or they burn out quickly. I'm grateful that life is affording me the opportunity, is bringing certain things up within me that I'm healing within myself. I'm grateful for that. So I just think that's the seldomness I just felt within my spirit. I'm grateful for that. Like, I swear I am. I'm grateful just for peace of mind, business mentality, just everything that I've been, that I'm cultivating. And it's like, I think one of the most important things, that I do want to tell people is just to chase your dreams, honestly. Like, because that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm chasing my dreams. this is something that I used to tell my teachers that I was going to do when I was a little boy. Like, um, and you got to block out the people who aren't, who aren't really meant for you. My journey has been a lonely journey. And I'm pretty sure it's going to continue to be, and that's fine. And when people listen, sometimes when you say lonely, people think you're going to talk about relationships, all that. I'm not talking about all that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about as far as, rise to the top, working on what I'm working on. It has been a little bit lonely, just a little bit. Because I've been doing everything on my own. I've been working so hard on my own. And I just think that's that. So what I want to tell people is like, keep going even when you're alone. Keep going even when nobody's looking. Keep going even when nobody's watching. You have to literally keep going. Success or what you want is only going to happen if you make it happen. Success, it may look like luck. Y'all may think it looks how it looks on the movie. And this is the reason why I'm telling y'all this. Sometimes we think in regular life, things are going to look how they look on the movie. And in my head, I had to realize that, life doesn't happen how it happens on the movie. Like, we have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. We have to literally go through certain things. So like, I was realizing, okay, I'm not living a movie. This is my life. So it's like, it isn't going to be how it is on the movies. You have to work for certain things. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. Consistency will always beat hype. And I'm not just correlating that back to myself. I'm just giving y'all a little bit of tidbit for yourself. So whatever you're doing in your life, never feel like you have to be the most at this. Be the most consistent. Be the person that gets up every morning. You do what you need to do. Every night before you go to bed, you do what you need to do. Be the person that you pour into your craft. Be the person that you become a student within yourself. You know what I mean? That is what ultimately is getting me where I'm going. I'm an avid learner, and I feel like every day is when you have influence and stuff like that. When you have influence, you have different parts of your life. So you have your personal life, your career, and things like that. It's so much stuff to learn in your personal life. You know what I mean? So it's definitely always so much stuff, that you can learn in your career, how to become better, how to be better at this and that. And in the past, I'm not gonna lie, I used to like not want to know more. Isn't that weird? I used to not want to know more than what I knew in the past. And then I think around, I don't know what it was. I honestly think when I started making music in 2020, it's like the yearning for knowledge, or for me to want to learn not only about just my craft, but just about life. It just kind of opened up, So sometimes I catch myself reading articles, just doing a lot. I just want my brain to grow. I want my brain to grow, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like that's a Hollywood thing or an influencer thing. I think that's a person thing. That's something else I want y'all to realize. People in Hollywood, we're still people, okay? We're still, you're definitely right about that. You're definitely right about that. Eros Slay, Visha, definitely right there. You got to push. That's one thing I want y'all to know. You got to push. Don't listen. Weak people don't make it to the top. And I'm not talking about physicality. I'm talking about mentally and emotionally. You have to be strong. You know what I mean? You have to be very, very, very strong. And I think my strength, being able to be strong mentally, physically, emotionally, and also be, tender. I think that's what it is. I think that's really what it is, being balanced, being able to just be myself, yeah, just being able to be myself, if I'm being honest with you, because I think, some people aren't balanced. We all could be balanced though. So it's like, essentially, I'm being myself, but you may be being yourself and you may not be balanced. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, it definitely is about how bad you want it. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. And listen, I think a lot of times in life, people think when you say stuff like, how bad do you want it? You think about outside circumstances or outside people. It's like, no, ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Literally in life, I want y'all to understand that. And I'm telling you from firsthand experience, block out the world, tunnel, lock in on what you want, and keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep pushing, keep going, keep pushing. Because the only person that's going to stop you is you. People can try to discredit you. People can try to do whatever. People can try to stop you behind the scenes. They can try to do whatever they want to do. Keep going. Keep going, because when you do make it to the other side, because you will, because I definitely am, when you make it to the other side, the people who try to stop you, the way they're going to revere you, the way they're going to respect you, and the way you have them shook and scared, because I thought I took you off. I thought I took you out. I thought I stopped you behind the scenes, and you're still here. You keep going. You keep going. That's what my haters say about me. Y'all remember when on Bigger, I said, one thing I tell my haters is just to sit back and keep watching. I said that on the last song I dropped. I mean that. Sit back and keep watching. That is pretty much that, though. That is pretty much that. I feel like a relief has been taken off my chest. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Don't assume the position that people give you. Don't assume the position that people give you, because at the end of the day, listen, the people who try to give you these positions, they ain't on nothing. They're not doing nothing. I mean, I come from a small town. So they definitely ain't doing nothing. Everybody has an opinion about things that they know nothing about. So with that being said, Lions, I love y'all. Keep it hot, keep it spicy. It's your boy Mason Jyree. If you're new to the Lions Den, welcome. I want to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys have really chatted it up. I never will listen to the haters, but listen. You got a whole army of comments. I appreciate that. Mustafa. What's the other one? Let me see. Eros Levicious 1327. Shout out to you too. And it's one more. Congenos. Listen, when I say I love y'all, I mean it. Don't forget it. Listen, if you're new to the Lions Den, welcome. You have just joined something successful. Thank you guys so much. I love y'all. Keep it hot, keep it spicy. Once again, it's your boy Mason